Hello, I'm Mukala Kabongo, and here is this week's LCTV news for Friday, April 23rd, 2021.
This episode of the LCTV News is brought to you by Columbia Insurance Agency, serving the Lynn community for over 60 years with home, auto, and business insurance.
Lynn Police Department has placed several officers on administrative leave after reports of inappropriate conduct by the officers. Lynn Police Department of Professional Standards Division began conducting an investigation after allegations of inappropriate language was used by two officers in a private group chat. The reports of officers having intentions to use violence towards Black people were told is false, and there is no evidence in their investigation to back up those claims. According to Lynn PD, they have spoken with the Essex County District Attorney's Office regarding the matter and are working to conduct a transparent investigation. Last Friday, Mayor McGee announced the 3 finalists for the city's police chief position that's been open since the retirement of Chief McGarry. The 3 finalists are Captain Mark O'Toole, Christopher Reddy, and Deputy Chief Michael Vale. On Tuesday, April 27th, a group of stakeholders will interview each candidate before Mayor McGee makes his final decision. The stakeholder group includes Andrea Baz, Lieutenant Timothy Donovan, Jonathan Feinberg, Brian Field, Chief Kenneth Green, Audrey Jimenez, George Makopoulos, and Francis Martinez. Community input is also requested for the final stage. The general public can submit questions for the candidates by visiting the City of Lynn's website at lynnmass.gov/community_input_requested. Element Care and Lynn Community Health Center have partnered to host a COVID-19 vaccine clinic this Saturday. The clinic will run from 1 p.m. until 3 p.m. on 37 Friend Street across the street from Harrington Elementary School. Anyone interested in receiving the vaccine is encouraged to visit the clinic. For more information, contact AJ Sang at 781-732-1488. This past Saturday, Diverse People United of Lynn organized a rally against hate towards the Asian community. LCTV was in attendance.
In a statement during the Atlanta area spa shootings, Captain Jay Baker called the tragedy a bad day for the shooter. The same captain that promoted t-shirts branded with imported virus from China. It is Asian erasure and anti-Asian violence to call for more policing and encouraging a surveillance state as a response to Asian hate. The word abolition should not distress any of us more than watching Black people get murdered by police. Any distress that arises from the word abolition should be examined with a new lens to the acknowledgement of privilege. The privilege of the personal lived experience of being protected by the police. A privilege that does not extend to the Black community. More than 28 million Black squares on Instagram was posted last year in solidarity for Black Lives Matter, but only around 25 people show up weekly to march for Moses Harris and Lowell. And countless Black Lives Matter signs in windows of gentrified communities. And at Lynn United, we have to fight for 20% of affordable housing and new development in our community. We have to fight for 20%. It should be more than 50 automatically. With all of that performance, The murders continued. The violence against the Black community continues. The systems currently in place leaves no room for justice. We cannot ask for unity and solidarity with one breath and uphold violent and racist systems with another. The Black community can't breathe. We need solutions that will protect all of our communities. It is anti-Black to call for more policing and encouraging surveillance state as a response to Asian hate. I ask you to sit with all the discomfort and meet yourself with grace and kindness as you do the work. I then ask you to meet all of our communities with the same grace and kindness. And I will be clear, grace and kindness only comes with justice. We have a president that gave a performative statement about condemning Asian violence as Vietnamese refugees were being deported. That is anti-Asian violence. When you ask me where I'm really from, that is anti-Asian violence. When you tell me you cannot tell me apart from another Asian person, that is anti-Asian violence.
He told my grandmother that he has a friend that lives in a nearby village. He planned on running across the field to avoid the guards, but tragically, he ran into a minefield.
How you guys doing? My name is Johnson Mao. I'm one of the residents that live here in Lynn. Today we're here at the Solidarity Rally in Lynn for the AAPI community. It's been great to see a lot of people here sharing their stories, and it's good to hear a lot of different perspective and stories that everybody has been through. We don't allow racism, we are against it. And our goal is to continue to spread awareness and that we should all come together in a way and continue to love our people, your people. We're all friends and neighbors. So we need to end this. And it starts with home, it starts with our younger generation. We are the next leaders. So let's come together and show them that racism is not acceptable. Thanks.
Hi, my name is Sandra Lopez and I am a resident of Lynn. And I want to encourage all the people to stop the Asian hate because they are a human like us, and all of us are here to work together and to love each other no matter what culture you come from. So stop the violence, stop the hate against those type of people because they are a human and they are good persons.
I'm Johnson Pratt from Lowell. You know, we're out here just to come stand in solidarity with everybody, you know, show the Asian community some love.
It's a joke, you know, as we're discussing it.
Sonny.
Hi, my name is Sonny from Lowell. I'm here to stand up for what's right and believe in for what we can believe in, that we can all come together and stand up for one another.
Hello. You love our food, but you don't love our people.
My name's Alex. I'm from Lowell, Massachusetts. I'd like to thank everybody who came out here and is spreading awareness. It means a lot to me personally.
Anybody that knows me, you know I don't
I stand behind everybody, and shout out to everybody in the rally.
So I'm not going to sugarcoat it.
Around the world.
Again, I'm shooting at everybody
I stand behind my
that's either
family
running
here
or is in office.
And my cousin.
It's time to
I'm
step
very
up
proud.
to the plate. Ladies, gentlemen,
I hope that everybody can come together and stop racism and have world peace so we can all live abundance.
Thank you. Where people know their true history.
Yeah, my name is Sam Mann. I'm from Lowell, Massachusetts. I am the first generation of Asian American, Cambodian American, and you know, as of being the first generation of Cambodian American, we have to stand up for our elderly, and you know, for those who can't speak for themselves, we got to speak for them, and we got to guide our children and the next generation that you know this history can repeat itself. You know what I mean? And we want to end this hate and discrimination towards Asians.
Stop Asian hate! 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 Said it was a bad day, more cops won't stop Asian hate! Said it was a bad day, more cops won't stop Asian hate! Said it was a bad day, more cops won't stop Asian hate! Said it was a bad day, more cops won't stop Asian hate!
The North Shore Mutual Aid put together a free store over the weekend to help residents who were going through hard times due to the pandemic. LCTV spoke with the organizers.
Today we have a free store. A free store is essentially where we have a donation-run store, but it's all for free. So individuals who are in need, they come in, take whatever they need, and it's all for free. So just helping out the community.
Lately, with all the recent events and like the last president, it's just like putting an emphasis on mutual aid has been really important to us and like our community. So we wanted to just reach out around the North Shore. There's nothing like around here kind of like this, so it was important to start one.
So I'm very thankful for the Haven Project and the East Coast International Church because they were able to give us this cafe this Saturday as a location.
We figured it would be a good spot just because there's a lot of shelters nearby and a lot of people who were affected by COVID-19. So we figured we would just come in and help the people around here. So we have some food, like canned items. We have some toiletries, some books, children's toys, clothing for children and women and men, and maternity clothes and things like that.
It's incredibly important. The pandemic has really put a lot of individuals in our communities, your neighbor, anybody in really risky situations, and we need to be there to support them when they need it.
I think it's just really important to have something be accessible to people who can't necessarily spare their income on necessities that they need to live their daily lives.
Community members need to be there to support, so I advise everyone out there who wants to get involved, who see any issues within their community, to please do something, be out there, work in mutual aid, do a free store, grab a group of friends, and just make a difference in your community because a lot of people need it.
With youth football getting back in action in the community, community leaders. Yeah. With youth football getting back in action, community leaders gathered at Barry Park this past Sunday for a community cleanup. LCTV was on the scene.
We're just trying to pick up the park. You know, we use the playground. Me, myself, my friend, Mia Solti's here, and we're just trying to get the community together and just pick up the park. Give it a nice, fresh clean.
If we don't teach the next generation how to give back and how to volunteer, who's going to do that? You know, and I feel like it's my responsibility as a parent to show him what it looks like to give back. You know, so we can't complain that our kids are not giving back when we're not teaching them as parents and as community leaders what giving back looks like.
We've been cleaning up a lot today, and it's just a really good place.
This is a park, like you mentioned, that he knows and that he's frequently practices at. So it's important for him to understand that, you know what, just like you practice here and the field gives back to you, you need to give back to it by cleaning it up and making sure that the next people that want to use it are able to utilize it.
My kids play football here. I coach kids. You know, I've been coaching for over 10 years, and I know how important it is for the kids to have a safe environment. And now that we're letting the kids come out, you know, after COVID, the kids were exposed, you know, it exposed a lot of inequities in our children. You know, we have with kids that are dealing with mental, physical, and emotional stress, and we got to bring the kids out to the park and let's give them a fresh, clean environment to play in.
I feel like it's important for people in the community to take care of these parks, to clean up around the area, and just to make sure that we're doing everything in our power to make sure that's a safe area for not just our kids, but everybody in the community to utilize.
I'm really happy. We've been playing good, and it's been really good.
This ain't gonna be the first time you see us here, so I'm gonna be here a little more often, and we're just gonna pick up the park. And this ain't the only stop. There'll be another one. I'll announce a few other cleanups that we have going out throughout this.
Yesterday morning, a press conference was held at Lynn Tech Annex Building for the LED Light Street Conversion Program that the City of Lynn received a grant for. Lynn was one of 77 municipalities to be awarded the grant by the Metropolitan Area Planning Council. Here's more from the press conference.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Earth Day. I'm so happy to be here in Lynn with all of you to celebrate Earth Day and Earth Week. And today we're celebrating a really momentous accomplishment, the conversion of the majority of municipally owned streetlights in the Commonwealth to LED. You know, and this is one of those projects I was thinking about on my way over here. You know, sometimes when we think about climate change and we think about, you know, how can we really make a difference, it can feel overwhelming. But it's projects like this, working with 77 communities across the Commonwealth, working with the planners, the DPW directors, the inspectional service folks, to actually go out and change thousands of streetlights across the Commonwealth.
It really is an honor to be here on the 51st Earth Day and highlight the completion of this LED transformation. I think on Earth Day you look at accomplishments, but you also reflect on what you want for Earth Days of the future. And this program is instructive. It's instructive that a decade ago, this technology did not even exist. Now it is ubiquitous. Now it is being deployed not only in states that are climate leaders, but across the nation and across the globe.
It's been really awesome to be part of this 77 communities, this partnership with MAPC, DOER, the LED Streetlight Conversion Program. Over the course of the last 2 years, the entire city of Lynn streetlights have been converted, and as Councilor Lozzi knows and the delegation, we had a substantial deficit as I came into the job in 2018, and working with the team, we were really looking to how could we address in many ways the challenges that we faced and do it in a way that really benefited the community moving forward. Andy Young is here, who was a big piece of those discussions, and Mike Donovan, who couldn't be here as head of inspectional services. We worked from day one talking about how could we make sure this program became a reality. I want to thank them both for their advocacy, but more importantly, they worked hard to implement this program in partnership with the state and MAPC. Wouldn't have happened without their work and the team that they have to make this, make sure that all of these lights were transformed into LED lighting.
Yesterday, the Lynn English Lady Bulldogs soccer team's matchup against Medford ended in a 0-0 draw. The Lady Bulldogs are still looking to get their first win of the season. They'll look to do that on Saturday when they take on Revere at noon in Revere. Lynn Classical boys soccer team moved to 1-3 on the season after losing to Revere 3-1 yesterday. The Rams, who held a 1-0 lead going into the half after Elzon Helmi's goal, but they could not muster any offense in the second half. Revere's Diego Salcedo scored 2 of the Patriots' 3 second-half goals to give Revere the lead. The Rams will look to get their second win of the season on Tuesday when they welcome Everett to Manning Field. Kip's soccer team finished their season with a 7-4-1 record after their 3-1 defeat to Methuen on Wednesday. Junior Marco Escobar finished the season with 23 goals to lead the team. Escobar has 50 career goals. Congratulations to the Panthers on their season. Lynn English boys soccer and Malden High's matchup on Tuesday ended in a 2-2 draw. The Bulldogs got goals from seniors Jalen Corleone and Ryan Lima. English is back on the field this Saturday as they take on Revere. Lynn Classical and Lynn English football programs each kick off their season today. The Rams are at home against Revere. Kickoff is set for 6 p.m. and the Bulldogs travel to Everett to take on the Crimson. Good luck to both programs. Lynn Tech football moved to 1-3 on the season after falling to Greater Lowell 20-0 yesterday. The Boston Celtics got a big win last night at TD Garden as they defeated the red-hot Phoenix Suns 99-86. Kemba Walker had one of his better games of the season as he poured in a game-high 32 points. Jason Tatum, although he had a rough shooting night, still managed to notch a double-double with his 15 points and 11 rebounds. The C's saw several players step up in the absence of Jaylen Brown. Peyton Pritchard was the leading bench scorer with 10 of the 28 points. It's a quick turnaround for the Green Team as they take on the Brooklyn Nets tonight. Tip-off is set for 7:30 p.m. The Boston Bruins have won 6 in a row after last night's 5-1 victory over the Buffalo Sabres. Brad Marchand got things going in the first with his goal off a Patrice Bergeron assist to make it 1-0. After the Sabres tied it at 1 in the second, the Bruins' Matt Grzelcyk would give the Bruins back the lead. David Pasternak would add to the Bruins' lead in the third with a goal off a Marchand assist. Nick Ricci and David Krejci would put the icing on the cake for the Bees. The two teams are back on the ice tonight at 7 p.m. The Boston Red Sox have dropped 2 in a row after last night's 7-4 defeat to the Marlins. The game went into extra innings where the Sox allowed 4 runs in the 10th that gave the Marlins the victory. The two teams play the second game of their series tonight at Fenway. First pitch is set for 7:10 p.m. Sad news in the basketball world yesterday. It was announced former University of Kentucky basketball player Terrence Clark passed away after being involved in a car accident in Los Angeles. Clark, a native of Dorchester, Massachusetts, played his high school ball at Brewster Academy in New Hampshire. He spent 1 year at Kentucky before declaring for the NBA draft. We send our condolences to his family. On this week's Lynn Lowdown, we were joined by Jodie Smith. Here's this week's Lowdown. Hello and welcome to another edition of the Lynn Lowdown. And today we have Jodie with us, and we have a lot to discuss about some stuff coming up in May and in the summer. She's working with North Shore Juneteenth. How are you doing?
I'm great. Thank you so much for having us.
Oh, no, not a problem. Not a problem. First, how's you doing? How's everything been? How's everything been the past year or so?
Well, it's really been interesting with all of the negative things that have been happening. I like to think that our lives are really guided by physics. And for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. And with all the horrific news, especially with racism and killings, that we've had an equally positive reaction from people really caring about their communities and making a difference. I mean, Lynn, who would have thought a year ago that you would have had body cameras on your police officers? Like this, it's little steps, but we are definitely making progress. So life is good.
Yeah, definitely. Life is good. Can't, just gotta go day by day. Let's talk about the North Shore Juneteenth. North Shore Juneteenth does a lot of things that last year they couldn't do some of the stuff they normally do because of the circumstances. But as things are slowly starting to open back up, the North Shore Juneteenth, they're starting to plan ahead for the summer and their annual events that they got coming up. But first, we're gonna talk about in May. There's a tea event that is happening. Can you please give us a little background information on that?
Absolutely. So this is our Hats and Heels afternoon tea. This is officially the 4th year, although it did start 5 years ago. We postponed and then had to cancel the one for 2020 for obvious reasons. But we decided for 2021, we would do it as a virtual tea. And while we look forward to the points where we can all gather together again, this has really been a huge advantage. So our tea is coming up on May 8th. It is going to be held virtually, so it's going to be held over Zoom. The huge advantage of it being held over Zoom is that our speaker is Carol Boyce Davies from the Cornell University. And she would not be able to be our speaker if we were in a real life situation. She wouldn't be able to take time off in the middle of the semester to come and travel to Lynn to be able to speak with us. But because we are doing this over Zoom, we're able to have her talk. And we are doing goodie bags that people are going to be able to pick up at the Lynn Museum, which has been a wonderful partner for us, that contains teacups, tea, and all sorts of goodies that they'll be able to enjoy during the actual talk.
Correct me if I'm wrong, or maybe I'm making this up. Is this kind of like in conjunction with the Kentucky Derby with the hats
That's a
and all
good
that?
question. No,
okay.
It's more connected with Sunday church services and being able to wear your best hat to church.
Okay, because for some reason I thought it was connected with the Kentucky Derby because you see
Yeah, you see the fabulous hats, but nope, we don't have a link to that, at least not yet.
Yeah, okay.
But I did want to show you, I have a couple of little things, some show and tell to share with you, if that's okay.
Oh, sure.
So for the past 2 years, I've been collecting through garage sales and buy nothing sites, teacups and saucers. Mm-hmm. So each one of the goodie bags will contain a teacup and saucer, fine china that people will be able to keep. But even more than the teacups and saucers, I want to tell you about this and this.
Is that the goodie bag?
I'm sorry, say it again.
Is that the goodie bag?
This is part of what's going to go in the goodie bag.
Gotcha.
These are both teas that are from Black women-owned tea shops here in New England. So the first one is from In Sips. This is a black tea and berry, something that's very spring-like. And that's going to be in people's packages. And this is a loose tea. If you can see, you can actually see. I wish you could smell because it smells amazing. And then the second one is from Drink Our High G. And this is a green tea, which is good for your health. And they were amazing because they actually put the Juneteenth label right on the tea bags. And this, while the other one is loose tea, these are actually tea in tea bags. So people will have a choice as to which tea they would like to drink during our tea.
That is great. That is nice of them to do that. And that is also great that you guys are highlighting, the North Shore Juneteenth is highlighting Black-owned businesses, especially Black women. That's sort of been a theme nationwide for the past, I would say the past year or so, is highlighting Black-owned businesses by Black women. Why do you feel that was important for you all to do?
Well, it really goes right into the mission. So the Juneteenth mission is apolitical. The Juneteenth mission is to support and to recognize the contributions that Blacks have had to American society. We all know that it's left out of the history books. And so this is really the goal. And over the year, we've been able to do things. Nicole McLean pioneered a suffragette exhibit that was all women Black suffragettes working for the vote. And she had that on display both at the Lynn City Hall as well as online, so people could see that. And it's baked into everything that we do, is highlighting the good around this community.
That is definitely a great thing to highlight, because, you know, especially in the community, young girls see that and they want to aspire. Them like, okay, maybe I can own a business too, because there's so many other people that maybe if I didn't know certain people, I would not be aware of such things like that, you know, because that's one thing North Shore Juneteenth does, is bring awareness to maybe people that aren't talked about as much, or you wouldn't know as much from certain learnings, but they highlight those. You know, I think that's one thing a society's been doing a lot more, is not only outside of the schools, they're educating students, and also they're educating adults who didn't get this education about certain people in history that did great things.
If people aren't already following, they should follow North Shore Juneteenth Association on Facebook, because there are a variety of different educational points and posts that go up on a regular basis, highlighting things that are happening both in the past as well as right now, because things are happening literally on a day-to-day basis right now. Yeah. And it's a great way to be able to stay in touch and to learn.
Definitely. And I know we didn't get the dates yet, but please tell us the dates of the date of the tea event.
So the first Saturday in May, that's May 8th, it's coming up. The tickets are on sale right now up on the North Shore Juneteenth Association website. You can sign up for the tea ticket and also make sure to put in where you're going to pick up your goodie bag. You want to make sure that you get the teas. And the tickets are actually going fairly fast. So we're very happy. It's an educational program that's also a fundraiser for the Juneteenth Association, and it helps to feed the programming that we do all year long. One of the biggest misconceptions is that people hear the name of the organization, Juneteenth, and they think we're only doing things in June. Yeah. June is a big month for us, but it is not the only month that we do things. So coming up in May, we have the Hats and Heels Tea. Carol Boyce Davies is an amazing American lecturer and talking about the history. And I want to read the title of her talk. It's Black Women and the Desire for a Transformed United States. And she really puts a link between the suffragettes and the early politicians, Black politicians, and how their contributions were shaping the America that we're still trying to live up to today. So in May, we have the tea. In June, we have a number of Juneteenth flag raisings. They're going to be happening not only in Lynn, but all over the North Shore. So you can find out the dates of the different communities. There's going to be one in Everett. There's going to be one in Salem. There's, of course, going to be one in Lynn. There's going to be one in Marblehead. There's going to be one in Lowell. So watch on the website to be able to see those. Then we move into the summer and we talk about fitness and the importance of being healthy. And we have our 5K. I know you're going to be talking to the Angel, who will be able to tell you much more about the 5K. Then in the fall, we do backpack events where we give out backpacks in the community to help students get ready for school. And then moving into December, we do a number of different activities, including paint nights. And usually what we're painting is the Juneteenth flag, because every color, every symbol, every line on the Juneteenth flag has a meaning. And so it's an art project as well as a lesson to learn more about Black history in America.
Yeah, definitely. This is all great stuff. And it's also great because now sort of outside is sort of opening up a little bit. So now it could have more events outside still with the within capacity of social distancing and keeping everybody safe. So that's one positive thing that is going to happen is you guys will be able to have certain events, outdoor events that people could come gather, not, as far to the guidelines, to the state guidelines of keeping everyone safe. So that's good. That's going to be a good thing just to get everybody out and about and just able to see these events. Lastly, before we get out of it, please, if they want to know information, please give your email, the social media pages and contact information, all that good stuff, so people can know where to go and who to contact.
The best thing to do is go to your search engine and put in North Shore Juneteenth Association. You can do that on Facebook, you can do that on Google, and our Facebook page and our website will pop right up. So North Shore Juneteenth Association, and we're happy to answer any questions you have. Lots more information about the suffragettes, about the tea, about the 5K, all of that right on the website.
And lastly, once again, please let them know the dates.
All right, coming up on May 8th, we have the Hats and Heels Tea. That'll be at 4 o'clock, but tickets are required, so please make sure to register in advance. Then coming up in June, we're going to be having a number of flag raisings all over the North Shore, as well as a live stream event on June 19th to honor and recognize the day. Then coming up in August, we're going to have the 5K, and you'll have to check the calendar for the rest of the things throughout the year.
Awesome. Jodie, thank you once again for coming on, giving us all that information, and make sure May 8th, correct? May 8th?
Yes.
And go Go if you haven't gotten a ticket, go get a ticket. She said they're going fast, and bring the kids, bring the family, all that. It's virtual, so y'all have a good time. So you guys have been watching the Lynn Lowdown. I'm your host Mukala Kabongo. Have a great day. This just in, a statement from the mayor's office in regards to the investigation to the several officers that have been put on administrative leave. So this is from Mayor McGee's Facebook page. As mayor, I have focused on building trust with the community and have been committed to having an accountable administration. There is certainly more work to be done, including to eradicate systemic racism. Furthermore, I want to be clear that illegal behavior by employees will not be tolerated under my administration. The Professional Standards Division of the Lynn Police Department is conducting an investigation involving several officers, which will be handled with due diligence and in full compliance with the law. At the conclusion of the investigation, where appropriate, the officers involved will be held accountable and actions will be taken. While the process is ongoing for the protection of the public and the integrity of the investigation, the associated officers have been placed on administrative leave. That was from Mayor McGee's Facebook page. Thank you for watching the LCTV News. Make sure to subscribe to the LCTV Facebook page and be sure to visit the LCTV YouTube channel. Also visit the LCTV website to watch any show at any time on your computer, phone, or tablet. I'm Mukala Kabongo. Have a great day.